Hi guys, it's me Karen, and we've come back to do part 2 of the Worlds Within Worlds by Kerby Rosanes. And we're doing the dragon eye. I've gone ahead and kind of given you a hint of what we're going to do with the spikes here by coloring this one in. We're not quite finished with the eyes, so I thought I would go ahead and finish that up. Let me try to get this underneath there. The buildings in the background I want to put a little detail into, so we're just going to go in with the dark umber here, and on the some of the building lines we're going to put a shadow on them in certain areas. I should have done this in part 1, but I was a little busy and couldn't get to it, so just going to add these into the shadow areas of the buildings just to bring them to life a little bit. Did I say welcome back to my channel? I'm sorry if I didn't. I just wanted to jump in and get into this part before I forgot and didn't do it at all and ended up doing it outside the camera or something. So welcome everybody back to part 2. I hope you're enjoying. In part 1 I left the link to Always Coloring's channel for the swatch book measurements and stuff that I showed you at the beginning. So if you got a chance to watch that, that's how I did that book. Let's see, what else was I going to say? I had a few things in my mind, and I got to remember. Sometimes that's not the easiest thing to do. Oh yeah, I was perusing some of the pictures on Instagram and such, just because that's what I do before I go to bed at night. You notice I'm putting just shadows on one side. That's all I wanted to do, is just kind of give it some definition, so they're all getting the shadows on the same side of the buildings. Don't want to forget to mention that. And when I was doing that, I did notice that there was a video that did the pupil on the dragon, and that's where I got my inspiration to do that. I do like to have the eyes look like eyes instead of just the building in here. So I will leave a link to the picture that I had seen that inspired me to do that. I should have mentioned that in part 1 also. I'm not going to put any other color in here. I'm just putting down a little shadow. Anyway, I like to give shout outs to people when I get inspiration from their pictures, so forgot to do that. Give you another hint of when I do videos and I've never done a certain type of media before, like the wash of this background. Sometimes I keep it in the back of my head that I will, if I don't like it, doesn't need to be recorded or published. Kind of liking this one, so I do have to publish it, and I thought I would just give you some information on that. So I'll leave a link down below for her picture. I don't know if she does videos. I've only seen her on Instagram, and there's no link on her Instagram page to any videos, so I'll leave her Instagram link if I can figure out how to do that. Okay, now the big spikes, I'm going to work on those first, and we're going to lay down the colors for that. And I think I'll work on this little row down here since I started it, and I'll tell you how I did this one. So we go in the same colors that I used before. So we're going to take in some of the Tuscan Red, And we're just going to lay it down in here. Kerby has put down shadows on the underside of all of these, and that's where my shadows are going to go. So we put a little of that down in there, and it's a light touch because of the tooth on this paper. With the wash, it's going to do nice things to these pencils. They go down really nicely. Okay, we'll just go up a little ways. I don't know how long you want to watch all of these get done. Then I gotta figure out if there's any more up here. Okay, then we're gonna go in with henna, and we're gonna put that up in there. These are nice and small, so we'll have to do a little more work when we get up to the bigger ones. Okay, then we're going to bring in the Nectar, and it's going to knock down some of that pinkness in there. I'm going to put that up at the top here. Okay, then we're going to come in with the dark umber and just darken that whole thing up. So each one of this on the darker side, and where it connects down into the scales. You want it really dark down on that side. Oops, forgot this guy. Okay, and then the color I did not use in the picture yet is chocolate. It's in the description box on the first video because I'm just going to copy and paste that into the second one, and I thought, we might as well bring it in. So just very lightly kind of going over the whole thing to give a nice chocolate's kind of a reddish brown. I want that color in there, and I'm also going to bring it up this wrinkle here. Probably right around here too. Okay, bring some of it up in here too. I play with it the whole time I'm doing this, so that's how those are going to go. I guess I can finish this little row here if I can remember what order I put it in. Tuscan Red first. If it wasn't, it is now. So we're going to add that in. Now you may be wondering why I'm covering up most of this pink that I put down. I want the pink to still show through, but I wanted it as a underpiece. So that's why we did the wash on that. Gives it a nice effect. I did tell you we were going to turn him a little browner. So I'm just using the same colors. This is the henna. Okay, and then we have the nectar. And then we bring in the brown, the dark umber. I just love that color combination. And this one's way under here. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and do, let's see, I guess we'll do these bottom ones and we'll get to the top one later. So the same colors on these. We go in with the Tuscan Red, and then we'll go in with the shadow on this is on the opposite side here. So just follow his lines. Makes it easy. Should say easier. Not easy. Ooh, this one's really big. Get some of these smaller ones over here first, and then I'm going to have to turn the book. Can't crick my wrist that much. Just remember to do a light touch on this, so we can do a lot of layers on them. It's the same down here on these guys, just putting the color down on the lower portion of them. Little ones are a little easier to do because they're smaller. Okay, well, I just continue going up. I'm going to start putting on a different color here. What color was I using? The Tuscan Red. Okay, Mohogany. Did I use that on the ones up there? I don't know, but I'm going to put it in here. Okay, then we'll go in with the Nectar. I'm sorry, I'm getting quiet. Counting up how many I went up. Okay, then we're going to bring in the brown, which is the dark umber. go this way. Sometimes it's just a little difficult for me to bend my arm one way than the other. Such a big page. It's a big book, but I noticed when I was putting my hand on there, I mean, it just seems so big. Move these guys over a little bit and turn the book. Okay, that seems to be the last one, and then we're going to go in with the chocolate. Want some of that pink to show up, but not a whole lot. But if it wasn't there, I'd be upset. Okay. Now you can tell the difference from these little guys here and these bright pink ones up here. So we're going to work a little bit on the scales here. So we're going to bring in the, let's see, henna here. And we're going to shade in these areas a little bit where he's got his little lines. Then bring some of that color up and down. So we did a chocolate line here, and we can bring a little more lineage up there in this color. Pull some into the eye up here. Here, pull some up here. Got a lot of little wrinkles coming down in the face here, and I want to make sure that they are accented. Okay, goes all the way down here, so we'll bring that up. Okay, I'm gonna darken it down here. and kind of leave this as a lighter area. Okay, we're going to get the Nectar here and come up a little bit more off of that line that we made before. Just lightly bring it up. All the way around here. Then we'll go in with the pink rose. And just bring that up into the light pink we have going on down in here. Okay. He's looking cool. Okay, I need to get this area up here a little darker, so we're going to go in with the chocolate up here. Darken it underneath here. Darken it underneath all of those little guys. Okay, then we'll go in with henna. Bring it out into the pink a little bit. Then we'll bring in the pink rose. Just get that blended nice. Trying to leave a light area up at the top up here, so it's just the acrylic paint wash up there. Okay. Let's see. Gotta darken this up a little bit down here, so we'll bring that chocolate back. We're going to do that on these two. Bring some of that color down in here. Bring in the henna. Start bringing that up a little bit too. Then the pink. Okay. What I'm going to do is go ahead and finish these off camera, and I'll do this little row up here, and then I'll do these on camera when I get back. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay guys, we're back, and I've got all the little ones down here and a little row of these, and we're going to work on the top ones up here. They're basically been colored the same way, but a little different because I got some different shading in them, and they're kind of, you know, flipped reverse. Gotta get my colors out here. Just get them in a line so I know what I'm doing. I don't need that one here. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the Tuscan Red. I'll get you down a little closer on the side here. Don't wiggle so much. Okay, and you can tell we've got these little lines here, and these are where we're going to be the darkest. So I'm going to go under them. We're going to go across here, and I am going to put it darker, like where the lines are, but I'm still covering the rest of the pink. Okay. Then we're going to lightly bring it up. Darken this area. Okay. So basically wherever you see his lines, we're going to use those because he gave them to us. Isn't that kind of him? Okay, but we're also going to cover up some of this pink with this color, especially at the base of it. Okay, then we're going to go in. I'm going to do these two. Then we'll get moving a little faster here. So this is the Mohogany Red. And we're just going to be putting that over everything here and kind of accenting some of these lines a little more. Okay, then we're going to bring in the henna. Add that little brown tone down in here. Then we're going to bring in the nectar. I'm sorry, I'm not showing you the pencils. Just trying to get the color laid down. And then we're going to bring in the dark umber. Really darken up these areas here. Going to bring in the chocolate. Okay, that's how those are going to go. So you're just following the lines and using the same process of the coloring. So we'll start off when we did the same process. It's Tuscan Red on this one, so we'll bring in the, if I hadn't already, and if I did, I'm just going to kind of go over it. This is the Mohogany. Okay. Then we'll go in with the henna. If you can read that. My hand there. Well, no, you can't read that because it's so tiny. Anyway, that's henna. Okay, then we bring in the nectar. Dark umber. And then the chocolate. Okay, so we're going to go up and do all those. Then when we come back, And then they're all the same. You just want to darken the darkest spots with the darkest colors. So that is what we're getting here. Now we want to go in and even darken these up just a bit more. And this is just plain black. I'm sorry, I keep bumping that. So we just want to darken up some of these areas here. So you can see how that changes that a little bit. Okay, just like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and go and do all of these at the same time. And then I will come back and show you how we're going to do the scaly skin type thing. So, I'll be back in a little bit. As soon as I turn off the camera. But I mean, it is just following the lines that Kerby has put in here for us. Darkest spots where he's got the more lines. The more lines, that sounded silly. The shading lines that he's got here. And then I just keep going over it with darker and darker colors because I want these to be a pink undertone with a brown on the top. So it kind of gives that the interesting look. So I will turn the camera off and I will finish these little guys up on the top. And when we come back, I will start working on the little scales under here. See you in a bit. Okay guys, we're back. Now I got them all done. What I'm going to do, so I did it a little here, so I just took a little white and kind of added it in a few little spots. This is after I put in the black, but I will be adding that in a couple of these also, just in some areas where I think there could be kind of a, I don't know, a high point. So I want to add those in there. And it's just from the way I colored it, I believe, because when I was going through here, I added, there were some tiny little lines and I just went in with the dark umber and accented them a little bit and drew them up into the areas up here. So that being a like if you're thinking of like a bone or something, and it has high ridges and low ridges. Since these are kind of horny, that sounded bad, so sorry, horns, that that you put highs and lows on up here also. So just kind of where I left the lightest parts of the pink, I'm just going back in and adding a little white texture to it. It'll also, if you touch any of the other colors, will bring those down into this area. You can use as much pressure on the white as you like or don't like, depending if you even like the effect it gives. Okay, so that's all I'm going to be doing here, is just going over those edges. I kind of purposely left some of these with no color on them at all, so that the white would show up a little bit better on that area. So we're just going to go in here and there and add some texture to these. Bring that one down. And then the last thing that we'll do, I mean, if you want, you can use the Posca on this too. If you want it brighter, we're going to add a little touch on these guys too. And in here on the bottom, we can add some of that too. Just to add a little bit more texture in here. Okay, these guys also, we can highlight their spots. Okay, there we go. All right. This one turned out a little dark, so I'm going to lighten that guy up a little. There we go. All right, skin. We're using the same colors, and our base on the skin, I could turn on the lights for you too, so sorry. The base on your skin is the rose pink acrylic paint, and I'm going to go in because this color matches it almost perfectly. So here's a little bit of it right here, and you can tell it just goes over it nice. So that's going to be our base point. Darken it up a little bit with the Nectar, and then with, leaving the mahogany out of that, the henna. And if we want, we can darken it up with like the chocolate. Okay, so this is our palette for the skin. I've kind of done a little bit of that down in this area. So we're just going to finish off the skin in these colors. So I'm just going to go ahead and put down some of this pink in here. Just kind of sketching it in. I mean, it's already there with the other one. There's some white spots in there, which is fine because I want some highlights and everything in this scaly thing. I have to sharpen these pencils. Then we're going to bring in the Nectar, and that's going to darken it up just a little bit. We want to put a shadow under these guys. Okay, and we're going to bring that out. All right, put a little pinker on that. This is just the rosy pink going back in, blending that out a little bit more. Okay, then we're going to bring in some of the henna. It's our darkest spots. Put in little shadows, kind of in the corners of things, just where you think they might want a little more color. There's kind of a line here. I'm going to bring that out. And then just pretend it goes all the way down here. We're going to darken that top of that up with this. Then we're going to go back in with the Nectar right on top of it. Bring that down a little bit further. And then bring in the rosy pink. And I really need to sharpen that one. Sorry about that. There we go. I'm just going to kind of bring it down into the scales here in a patchy kind of coloration when we're down here further. So I make like a pink patch here and a pink patch over here, and leave some of them white. Gives us contrast in our scales. And you got to remember, we got shadows to put in over here too. Okay. And we have to bring in some of our chocolate. So I'm going to re-go over that line a little bit. Okay, and bring some of that chocolate down. Right over the pink, or the pink tones we just had. Okay. We're also going to draw that underneath some of these and darken up our shadows. Put it on over on these guys. And then we're going to just blend it all in with the same colors. So we'll go in with the henna first. And then the nectar. And then our pink. We still want to make our pink splotchy. I forgot a horn here. And that kind of lost a little of its coloring, so what I'm going to do is take the black, just trace over that edge a little bit. We'll be doing a lot of tracing over here. Darken that up too, so just put a little of that there. We have to do that after we do our blending because we will just blend the black right into everything and we don't want to do that. So, add a little bit more of the pink. And then we'll kind of let it go light out here. A little darker over here. And we have to remember to come back up on this side too. Still going to leave a little white there. Then we're going to darken it here to blend this in better. This is the Nectar. Then bring in the Henna. Just kind of go off the page a little here. And a little bit more of the chocolate here. We'll just darken around these little areas. Okay, we'll do the same up here. We'll darken it around these guys. And do the same colors coming down. It's doing interesting things right there. And we will add in the nectar. And we'll make some of these darker, since it's kind of doing that on its own. How about those two? There. Then we'll just go in with the light pink on these. There and down here. There we go. And look, I'll bring some white in here. Well, white without color on it. Just lighten these guys up a little bit. And that kind of helps it a little off there, but happy little accidents, right? Just get it blended nice. Then you won't notice how funny it looked. Okay, we will be going over the black lines here with either the dark brown or the red. I'm not quite sure, so I'm not going to do it yet. So we'll just keep going on with the skin. I need to sharpen the pencils again, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm kind of not liking how this ended up, so I'm just going to take my eraser here and kind of carefully look for some of these rounded areas. And kind of make it a even if it isn't to scale, I'm going to make it one. Kind of lighten it up there a little bit, and then just bring in the like the nectar and go over it a little bit so it doesn't look so, I don't know, it was looking a little odd to me, so I wanted to fix that. And what I'm going to do is there's a line here, and I think I may have brought it down. No, there is a line there. Get that eraser and get closer to the line there, and then just go over it again. There. It's like this line goes right through the scale. So that's probably why I was not liking it. This scale goes over there, so it goes right through this scale, and these scales start on this side and that side. So this line's just a little off. So I'm just going to do a couple of these scales going upwards, and the nectar. So we kind of get this variegated look. No rhyme or reason, just pick one and darken it up. Yep, hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to just put a little more of the pink rose in this area here. Just using the side of the pencil, get a light touch. Okay. Then we're going to take some, push harder and darken some of these areas up here. And then up here in the, up here we're going to darken some of these. Up here we're going to switch off between, excuse me, the nectar and the pink. So we're going to darken some of these up. Just going to bring it up in here, darken this section up. And we'll have some of that hot pink that comes through here. So that'll give us kind of a variegation of color up in this area. that want to get that shadowed area kind of dark. All the way around to the end over here. Okay, and we're going to take it dark up this line and under this side. And I'm using the side of the lead here. And that helps me from going too dark here. Okay, anywhere you have a pass through, you want to get it on both sides. And then just lightly bring it down into the pink area. And then with the pink, I can darken up a few areas here. Of course, this edge of the paper is really hard, so just going to kind of turn it and run this pencil. It's a light pink all the way down to the bottom of the page, just so we'll have the color there. We're going to do that going up too. And then we can darken these areas up. Oh, that's crumbling. I know why. It's crumbling because I thinned it out by using the side. Okay, dark a few there, darken up a few in here. We'll get these dark. Just random, pick some that you want darker, that you think will look good here and there. Try not to get them to go in a straight line, but and some up in here too. We're going to shadow up here too. We're not quite done down at the bottom either. Okay. That will bring in a different color and add in some more of these Nectar shades. And down in here. This is all up to you where you want the darker colors and the lighter colors to go. I'm just picking odd spots to stick color. You know, we got some pinks and I want some of this orangish. That's not really orangish, but it's more orange than the pink to come down into these areas. Brighten some of this up. Just change the monotonous pink, 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 pink look. And we'll go up here and do it too in some spots. Oops. And we're going to have to get dark down in some of these places too. So just continually go through there and put color. And now I'm going to find the brown. We're going to do kind of a deep tone down here. And I wanted to bring in a different color than the colors we've been using here because I don't want it to blend it right into those colors. So I brought in dark brown. So it's brown, not the umber. So we're just going to lay it down in this darkest areas here. And bring it up. This area, it's kind of hard to find where it is. And it's really hard to tell what's going on that side. And we'll bring some of it down in here too, where we need shadows. Yeah, that's got too much on that one. We'll darken this up. Okay. I have to turn the lights off for a second so we can see how dark I'm getting up here. So I don't want it too dark. The lights kind of tend to make me get it way dark. So sometimes I need to turn the light off just to see what I'm doing. Let's sharpen my pencil. I got the light pink. And up here, we're just going to add some. Is this pink? What is this? Yeah, pink. Okay, just going to bring it into that brown. Bring it up. Okay, I'm going to go around the edge here with some Distress ink and darken it brown when I get there. This area here needs to be pinker. There. And I will be bringing in a little of the white in here just to highlight these raised areas a bit. Okay. Yeah. All right. What we're going to do is I'm going to get the Distress inks and I will be right back. Okay. Turn the lights. Excuse me. Turn the lights back on. I've got walnut stain, Victorian velvet in case I need to put any up here in the areas that aren't covered. And I have a vintage photo. I'm not quite sure which one I want to use, so I'm going to do a little test here and see if I like that or if I want that. I think the walnut stain's going to win out. just because it's darker, like the tips of our little guy here. In order to do this, I need to get a piece of paper out and put it down. I'm going to take the ink, put it on the corner here, and run it around the page, darkening up the corner as much as we possibly can. Okay, going to go down this way. There we go. Then we have to go upward. All the way to the edge. There we go. Okay, then we're going to take a little bit of the, I'm just going to do it with a sponge, Victorian Velvet, and dot it in here if there's any leftover spaces. Okay. It should be dry in a second, but before we get too much further, I'm going to lift it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of the Posca. Make sure it's working on some of these areas here. So I'll draw a little line and just pull out one end of it so it doesn't look so straight. So I'll get that done, and maybe up on the top of these we'll get those done, and then I still have to go over each one of these with a color here. And I think I'm going to go dark brown. And you don't want to watch me do that. There are a lot of them here. Then I'm just going to go over the black and put them in. So I'll do that off camera. I'm sure you don't want to be bored to death watching little lines go on here. Okay, so I'll do all the lines, all in the dark brown, all over the skin. And I'll add a few more lines of Posca up into each one of these little horn pieces. And at the end of the video, I will show you the finished product. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care everyone. Bye now. Hi guys, I'm back. I decided we were getting awfully pink here with all the pink scales. I tried the brown. I didn't like doing it brown, so I did it all in the Tuscan Red, and it kind of turned it a little pink. So what I'm going to do is put some Spanish orange in the eye here, just around the pupil, and kind of add a little bit more. Hello, I'm a big eyeball here. So just kind of a glow around here. Add it up in here into the pink too. Just like that. And then the picture won't look, well, I mean, it's still going to look pink because it's pink. But we'll have a little extra color in it. And the eye will pop out just a bit more. Okay, so there we go. That is our picture. I really wanted it a little browner, but kind of got stuck doing it with the pink. And hey, I like it, so I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'll say it all again. And I will see you in the next one. Boom, all the stuff that I used. Take care, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.